Greetings, Random Tangent viewers. You may have noticed that as of late, the videos featuring Bill and Neil have been uploaded with less frequency. While both boys are still committed to bringing you the same high-quality episodes you have come to expect, they've also both been busy with side projects that have taken up most of their time. I think it would be a good idea to check in on what they've been doing. Shall we?
Ah, get that all tight there. Hi, how you doing, everybody? So I'm sure you're wondering where we've been for a while. Random Tangent's been on a bit of a hiatus, as it were. We've been coming on with the Scraps episode here or there, but things have been a little loose. Well, you see, me and Neil have been up to some side projects. You know, a little fun on the side. More me than him. So what you can see is this is what I've been working on right here. This bad boy right here is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful toy. I hand built this thing. If you look on the side here, you'll notice I put a lot of time and effort, a little bit of money into making this. We got a 1070 Ti video card. I'm running a Ryzen 1800X. We haven't made it to the 2700 yet. 1800X CPU running liquid cooling with a radiator built in. This thing's got 6 fans. I've got 2 controllers for the LED systems. They're not quite up and running yet. Still not quite done yet. I've got myself a 16 gigs of Corsair's Vengeance RGB memory. I've got a solid state drive, 250 gig, you know it. On the side here, you'll notice I have full storage capacity for actual removable hard drives that I can put in and out of regular hard drives. The idea is space and power, folks. So Neil came over the other day and he's like, "Hey Bill, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" He goes, "That's a nice gaming station." I said, "Yeah, it is. I mean, you could probably play some PUBG or something. I don't know why you would. This is the weighing station. That's what I built this for. It shows in the hard drive and storage capacity that I put into this thing. I mean, I literally, not only do I have a 250 gig SSD in here, because speed is everything when you're here, but also we have ourselves another terabyte internal, plus I've got a removable hard drive unit here, just so I can literally pull out hard drives at random. Pull hard drives, people. And do this. I'm running approximately 6 terabytes of information that can run through this system. There's an entire terabyte dedicated to Bush. Just 70s Bush. You heard me. Don't sit there and pretend like you didn't hear what you just heard. That is 70s Bush, people. That's a lot of hair in 1 terabyte. Okay, so you see that? Now if we move over here, we'll notice this is a nice big monitor. That is a 34-inch wide, ultra-wide screen. You know why? I like big butts. I cannot lie. You folks can't deny. Then when you click a little bit, you get a big butt. One screen that can hold it. So, on this screen, I've included and built a fantastic monitoring system. Why? Because when you wank, you must wank safely. Safety first, folks. So as you can see right now, it might be a little difficult to see, but the whole system is actually glowing blue. And that's just letting me know we're idle. Now if I click it on, boom, we're running green. Why is that, you say? Well, the green just lets you know green is go. Pull it out, pull that bud. Pull that bud, do it. So, now, in my hallway, there's a monitoring system, motion sensor, that's wired over to this system. Second somebody hits it, boom, we're red. Yeah, we're red. Somebody's in the hallway. It's time to slow that roll. Keep a track of what's going on. Make sure the balls aren't slapping too hard. That's what's important. You don't want to make too much noise at this point. Now, if they get too close, boom. Warning, Bill, danger, Will Robinson. Put the penis down. Now, once that penis is down, you're all good. You're safe. You know, and that's what's important. You don't want to get caught. You don't want somebody to see you doing that. Oh, it turned white. Now, it's another thing I added in a little timer. What's me to hydrate? You do enough of this, folks. You learn water is important. So, yeah. The next innovation I'm adding in, and this is a patented idea. Don't try to do this. I have a big fan that sits right up here. It's 140 millimeters. Blows up an exceptional amount of air. What I'm going to do is connect an RGB fan like that to this monitoring system. I'm going to mount it right here on this drawer. Now, why, you ask? It's a fine question. I'm glad you're thinking. You're going to mount it under here. You're going to turn that on. One, keeps you cool, keeps you dry. Why is that important? Let me tell you. Moisture leads to chafing. Chafing is no bueno. I mean, I'm still going to fight through it, but it's just going to hurt later. We don't like that. And 2, and this is what's really important, is you're cooling things. You're keeping things cool, dry. I'm estimating, by my calculations, I should be able to get in approximately 7 to 10 extra strokes per second. You heard me, folks. I'm making innovations. So, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, if you wouldn't mind excusing me, I've got some things to do. You know, system tests, as it were. Don't judge me.
Hey everyone, Neil here from Random Tangent. One thing a lot of people don't know about me, and for as much as Bill and I like to talk about how much we love video games and movies and whatnot, I'm actually fairly outdoorsy. I love being outside, out in nature, and it's kind of led to a little bit of a pet project, if you might want to call it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love to have just like every animal in the world as my pet. Now, I'd love to adopt all the animals in the world. That'd be awesome. But I'm also a firm believer that nature should stay in nature. The wild should be left to the wild, which has led to a bit, like I said, of a pet project, kind of a passion of mine. I have been working to rehabilitate and reintroduce pet rocks back into the wild. I'd say one of the first questions I get when working with pet rocks, rehabilitating them into the wild, is, what do you do? How do you do it? And really, what it comes down to is just acclimation. There's a lot of stuff like a pet rock. It's been inside. It's been carried around in someone's purse and someone's old rock tote. It's had kind of a pampered life. There's a lot of stuff outside that a pet rock would just not be used to. And I would say, actually, one of the biggest ones, surprisingly, is just the weather. Getting them acclimated to the wind and the rain is a very big thing.
She's doing so good.
Once you got past the weather part, the other stuff like getting dirty, getting bugs crawling on you, underneath you, that's easy. Like I said, the big one is the weather. We also try to break them of any. Before we release them into the wild, we try to break them of any human-learned habits they might have developed. I know sometimes you see, out by a lake or a stream or something, you see rocks skipping. That is a human-learned behavior. They do not do that naturally. It serves no purpose out in nature. So we try to make sure before we send them out there that they are not doing that anymore. We want them to be as much like just wild rocks as they can be. Another thing, I see this a lot of times with newer rocks, especially if we get like a large group of them in all at once, is sometimes I'll come in the morning and they're just in a henge, and they can't be doing that. I'm gonna introduce you to a few of the guys I've been working with here. This is Paul, and this is Claudette. They're both fairly new, so you can see they're both still kind of skittish around me, which is good. You don't want them to be too comfortable with me. You kind of want them to preserve a little bit of a wild instinct. You don't want them to bond too much. Here I have Rita. Rita's been with me for a few months now. She's done fairly well. She's actually almost done with her rehabilitation. The only issue is we found out that Rita was pregnant with twins. So we're going to wait for the weaning process to be over before we send her back out. Now this guy here, this is unfortunate when these come across. People hand these in to me, and there's really not much I can do. If you see that guy, that's actually a city rock. A rock like this has never actually been out in the wild. It would be totally lost out there, and plus to try to introduce it into the wild, be introducing an invasive species, and you don't want to do that. So guys like this one, they actually end up staying with me most of the time. I don't want to see them go to like a gravel factory or something like that. So this is gonna be my new this is my forever rock. This one here, I always put on gloves to work with this one. This here, put him down. Oh, okay. This is Buster, and Buster unfortunately was involved in a stoning. And it's so sad when that happens because really once they've tasted blood like that, they become a little bit feral. And I'm not saying rehabilitation is impossible at this point, but it becomes a lot more difficult. Not only that, you have to always be alert around a rock like this. You have to keep your guard up. You have to look for signs of aggression. Anything. Yeah, you always gotta keep an eye on them because they can turn on you like that. Now, this big guy right here is actually a star of our show. This is one we're gonna see. I'm actually gonna go out and show you the rehabilitation the reintroduction process of this guy here. Been working with him for a while. He's ready to go. He's gonna go back out there. This is Matt. Alright, so I've just reintroduced him into the wild. There he is right there. He's with the other rocks. Let's see if we can zoom in. And look at that. Look at that. The herd is already beginning to accept him. Oh my God. They're already frolicking. This is amazing. I feel like we've done some good here today. Absolutely gorgeous out here. So we take them out, let them enjoy the fresh air. Matt right there. Busker. Easy. Of course, Miss Rita. Oh, let's get the little ones out here too.